Geez, that got dusty. Welcome back to Fire to Fork. Today we're doing shepherd's pie, and my mate Woz is behind me doing something dodgy with his hands. So shepherd's pie, common misconception. Shepherd's pie, shepherds farm sheep. It's made with lamb mince or sheep mince or mutton mince or whatever you want to call it, not beef. Cottage pie is with beef. It's exactly the same thing, but with beef. The other thing is, we're not using mashed potato. Even though mashed potato is awesome, we are going to use potato gems on top because they're even more awesome and they require less washing up. Just a reminder, somewhere in this episode you can win a copy of my cookbook by commenting the code word that's going to be on the screen down below. Wow, this is up really high. Also, it's been 8 weeks and I'm finally back in the camper. I am hanging for a night in there. It's just like my happy place. Also, I've got a newborn at home for the night, which means I get to wake up tomorrow morning at the time that I wake up, not the time that the screaming baby wakes me up. So, start with onion. Woz? Yeah. Think of a title for yourself. I give everyone a title in the videos. So mine might be like beard farmer, or like likes romantic walks to the pub, or something like that. So, concrete cowboy, that's good. I think you need better than that though. That is actually a very accurate one for you, except you don't drive a 79. All right, so we'll do the clear stuff, I guess, to start with. So that is an onion. We'll say like, how many cloves of garlic have we got here? Let's say 4 cloves of garlic, I reckon. Nothing needs to be too precise in this recipe. I mean, it is all going to get cooked for quite a long time, so don't stress. All right, now, I lent my camp oven to a mate and it came back horrific. So, like, I'm gonna need to take an angle grinder to it, it's that bad. So, I've borrowed Woz's, and it's actually one that I gave him years ago. And it's an Kookaburra camp oven. I don't know where the K is, but it works. And he's kept it in really good condition, except the lid does not fit at all. I don't think this is actually the lid from this base. Whatever. It'll work. I'll put it on some heat and we'll fry some stuff up. All right, chuck one of these little trivets down.
Burn, the more you gotta get tomorrow.
Yep.
It's definitely the former.
All right, so you kind of want to get this onion starting to go translucent, and then you add the garlic in, but neither of them are going to actually cook very much. And you want a fair bit of heat under this. This wood is kind of crap because my chainsaw didn't work, so yeah, it'll work. We'll make it work, but it's not the best I've ever used. All right, that's sort of roughly going translucent and smelling more cooked, doesn't smell raw anymore. So we'll start off with some lamb. So I've got 1 kilo of lamb in here. Salt, pepper, finer grind. So just DM Woz if you want one of these.
Is it Kookaburra or the spoon?
The spoon. Yeah, he sells them $189 each, and it's a 6-month waiting list, so
Yeah.
bargain. All right, that's pretty good. Now, if you can, you kind of want to make a little spot where there's a bit of access to the base to do this next bit. Got to throw like maybe a tablespoon or so of tomato paste. No, 2 tablespoons. And you want to sort of fry that up first. But there's a bit too much liquid and stuff in here, so I'm not too concerned. That's just ideal, if you can. Oh, have you got that red wine? So about a cup of red. Now, okay, so the other veggies, I'm going really simple here. Tin of peas, corn and carrots. I'm a big fan of using these sorts of veggies where it's applicable, but not making them the star of the show. They can be a background thing. About a cup of stock. And then probably some bay leaves and some Worcestershire sauce. Oh crap, I nearly forgot flour. Probably should have added this in earlier, but about, I don't know, say 4 tablespoons of flour, roughly. This is going to cook for ages, so it will cook down and not taste floury. Maybe a little bit more. Call it a quarter of a cup of flour. And you can use gluten-free flour for this, it's fine. Quick taste. A bit more pepper. So I'm just going to let that simmer for like 20 minutes. And the good thing is, this camp oven doesn't seal very well. So there's going to be plenty of evaporation, which is what I want. All right, so potato gems, potato tots, whatever you want to call them. Throw them on top. All right, so now we're going to put a ton of heat on top. Steal some from underneath, because we don't actually need that much heat underneath now. So had I known that my chainsaw wasn't going to work and I wasn't going to get great coals, I would have bought a little bag of charcoal. It would be so good right now. All right, I'll leave it to it. It's been about, I don't know, 15 minutes or something. Let's have a quick look. All right, they're looking browned, which is perfect, because there is actually one more ingredient to go on. Bit of Parmesan. That's not liquid at the top, by the way, it's just a bit of oil from the meat and stuff. I'll try and push some of these gems up to the surface so they crisp up a bit better. Also, when you've got the fire like this, set up like this with a fire on one side, make sure you rotate your camp oven regularly. All right, it's been about 10 minutes. Get everything off the kookaburra. Yeah, it looks good to me. We'll get it over to the camper. I'm so used to this point of the episode being like, okay, now I'm going to garnish it with something, but it's, you know, shepherd's pie. There's no garnishing, it's a pie. It's going to look ugly, it's going to be delicious. Well, I hope it's delicious. So, it does look really good actually. Well, let's come have a look.
Ooh,
It does actually look really good.
it looks really good.
So Woz has made me a spoon while we're filming this episode, which is the coolest thing anyone's ever done for me during an episode. And I'm stoked. So, I'm going to use it to serve.
Tools, not treasures. If I make you a spoon, you've got to use it.
I've got to use it. I'm going to keep this. Like,
That's the thing.
they'll bury me with this spoon. Well, it depends on how well you made it, actually. So it could be shit. And then after this, we're going to film a podcast. Not film, we're going to record a podcast.
Nice.
So, Woz has a podcast called One Off the Wood, which I've been on
Couple of times. Not our best episodes, but you know.
No, they're pretty
people
average,
do
actually.
like it.
But I think the first one I said some things I probably shouldn't have said.
Did you?
Yeah, I think so.
The first 10 episodes were some of our best. Things were really rogue.
They were so right.
Like proper
Oh my
rogue.
God, Pete's going to find out about the podcast.
Nah, Pete doesn't watch this stuff.
Okay,
He actually does. Hey Pete, that's my old man.
Sorry, Pete.
He get a few mentions on the podcast, actually.
He does get
A lot of my, camping, my whole camping experiences as a kid was with Pete.
That's all Pete.
That's why I love it.
Yeah.
It's, from whittling wood to cooking on a fire.
All right, so I'm going to do some gratuitous B-roll of this, and it is going to be some of the worst.
I'm actually salivating.
But I reckon I should do better gratuitous B-roll with the spoon. So I might even wash it, and I'll get some really good stuff with the spoon.
That's Hugh and Pine smuggled back into Western Australia.
Mate, they're going to you're going to go to jail for 20 years.
Yeah. I did a trip to Tassie and came back with my suitcase. There's 5 kilos of timber that my mate had.
It's like the number one thing you can't bring in. Oh, let's do this. So, I've got all new knives and forks. Which is, I reckon, fork, knife, fork, spoon. I'm gonna go fork. I've got bare bones. Knives. Oh, look at them. Pretty nice.
Fancy.
Yeah. Very fancy. All right, let's give this a crack.
You got a complimentary?
Oh, shit, no, I don't.
Oh, that is quite. Little bowls.
It's really hot.
I feel like you've cheated here, though. Like, you're feeding me fried potatoes and cheese. Everything's good with cheese that's fried.
Yeah, I know. That's basically the whole channel, though.
Why not cheat? Mm. Yeah, this is pretty good.
That is good.
Good stodgy camp feed.
Touch more salt, mate.
Maybe a little Worcestershire sauce.
Shut the
I was told you didn't need anything. Just turn up. Oh, yeah. It's going to be 2 degrees tonight.
This is good.
Is this
Try a little bit more. Do you want more salt? Do you want more pepper?
Got a little pepper.
Give me a little more pepper as well.
Real nice. Yeah, 2 degrees. So I've been hanging out in the tropics for the last few months.
Shit, that's hot.
So I'm looking forward to a cold night.
Yeah, me too. That is so good, actually. I'm actually so stoked with that.
Do you eat the bay leaf?
No.
You're not supposed to, are you?
No, you feed it to Fred.
I made that mistake at Sophia's in Victoria once. Fred,
Does it go well with beer?
come here, eat the bay leaf. Good lad.
Yeah, it goes amazingly with beer. Does it go well with cowboy beer?
Red wine compliments. Cowboy cups, mate. You can't go wrong.
You can, actually. You can,
You can.
definitely cut
No,
your lip
you
open and die.
fold the edge over. Yeah, red wine compliments well. This is actually really good.
It's actually really good.
Oh.
The first time I've done this in Camp Owen.
Yeah, I was surprised how because they're really crispy, the gems on top.
Yeah, they've actually crisped up really well. Because when you look at it, you're like, oh, they're all liquid, they're going to be crap. And it worked. And the cheese is crisped up, and the Parmesan's nice.
Because they were sitting in that liquid on top, but you said it was just oil, right? Just that on top.
Yeah.
Reminds me of my, I was only allowed potato jams at my grandparents' place. And whenever they had a little hobby farm, and whenever we'd stay there, we'd always have
This is like
potato jams. And
granddad and grandma's food.
So good.
All right. I'm actually so stoked with this. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to comment the code word somewhere down below. And don't listen to the podcast. It's shit. See ya.
Hooroo. Oh, yeah. Let's go, Fred.